Nothing better than hearing her scream as they crawled all over her body. I might look like the bad guy. Wait till you hear my side of the story. It was a Friday evening when I came outside to receive an Amazon package I had ordered. As soon as the driver left, I saw Karen with folded arms staring at me like she had been waiting all day just to pounce. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. She didn't even blink, just narrowed her eyes and told me she was concerned about the kinds of packages I was bringing into my home. According to her, they looked suspicious, and she believed the HOA should start inspecting packages to make sure no one was bringing in contraband or drugs. I laughed right in her face and told her that whatever I ordered wasn't her business, nor the HOA's. That only seemed to fuel her paranoia. She tilted her chin up like some neighborhood sheriff and said my defensiveness made me look guilty. The way she said it, like she had just caught me red-handed, almost made me choke on my own spit. I ignored her and carried my box inside, thinking maybe she was just bored and wanted to stir drama. But Karen wasn't the kind of woman to let things go. Later that evening, I noticed her SUV driving slower than usual past my house, her head leaning out the window. The next morning, she was walking her yappy dog right up to the edge of my yard, her eyes darting to my porch like she was waiting for another package to appear. At first, I brushed it off as her usual nosiness, but something about the way she kept circling, like a hawk waiting to swoop, didn't sit right with me. The weekend went on, with her shadowing every delivery truck in the neighborhood. UPS, FedEx, even the local flower van. If they stopped anywhere near my house, she'd suddenly materialize. It felt less like coincidence and more like surveillance. I had no idea what her endgame was, but my gut told me this wasn't the end of it. Damn wrong. Before we dive in deeply, let us know in the comments where you're watching this story from. From that day forward, every time I received a delivery, it felt off, like somebody had already touched it before I even peeled back the tape. Usually, I let my packages sit on the porch until I returned from work, but lately, things kept disappearing. At first, I blamed the shipping company. Maybe they forgot an item or misplaced it. But the emails and receipts all confirmed the same thing. Everything had been packed and delivered. Yet small items, chargers, earbuds, even a set of kitchen knives, vanished without a trace. I started to feel my blood boil. Someone was tampering with my things, and only one person in this neighborhood had the nerve to pull a stunt like that. Karen. She was always prowling around, pretending to care about community safety, when in reality, she was just nosy. Still, suspicion wasn't enough. I needed proof before I acted. One Friday evening, I checked my porch camera. Sure enough, it caught a box being lifted right off the mat. But the angle was wrong. The lens pointed too far down, only showing a pair of sneakers and the package vanishing off screen. That wasn't going to cut it. So I went next door and asked my neighbor if I could review his door cam, which conveniently faced my porch from the side. That's where the smoking gun was. His camera captured her in full color, sunglasses slipping down her nose, glancing left and right before boldly scooping my package under her arm. Clear as day. Karen, mid-heist. I replayed the footage, jaw tight, a mix of rage and laughter bubbling inside me. She wasn't even subtle about it. She walked like the package belonged to her, strolling back to her driveway with that smug little bounce in her step. Now, most people would have marched straight to her door, demanded answers, maybe even called the police. But me, I wanted more than a confrontation. I wanted an unforgettable performance, something she'd never recover from. As I sat there watching her sticky fingers play across the screen, an idea began to take shape. If Karen liked opening my boxes so much, I was going to give her one she'd never forget. I decided to give Karen a lesson she would never scrub off her memory. I drove to a local exotic pet shop and bought 2 deli cups stuffed with feeder roaches, the kind used for lizards and snakes. The clerk raised an eyebrow, asked if I owned a bearded dragon. Nope, I said, smirking. Just a project. She looked unsettled, but she took my cash and handed me the wriggling containers. Back at home, I set the trap. I lined a sturdy shipping box with shredded paper, slid the cups inside, and sealed it up with extra tape. On top, I slapped a fake shipping label I'd printed off and scrawled "Fragile, handle with care." It looked like any other delivery. I placed it squarely in the center of my porch where Karen's greedy eyes would spot it. Then I stepped back inside, lights off, blinds cracked just enough, watching both my porch cam feed and my neighbor's cam, which covered a wider angle. It didn't take long. Mid-afternoon, Karen strutted across the lawn like she owned the block. Sunglasses on, phone in hand, she paused, glanced around, then bent down toward the box. Her grin was smug, like she'd caught me in some kind of crime. She tugged at the tape, peeled the lid open just a few inches. Then hell broke loose. Roaches poured out like water. The first one shot straight onto her wrist, another skittered up her sleeve, and then the entire cup toppled. Suddenly, her hands, arms, even her neck were crawling with brown, writhing bodies. Her scream cut through the cul-de-sac. She dropped the box, but that only freed more, scattering across the porch and onto her shoes. Neighbors poked their heads out. One guy dropped his rake. A couple across the street started laughing so hard they had to hold onto each other. Kids pointed and shrieked as Karen flailed and spun in place, swatting herself like she was on fire. She almost tore her blouse off trying to shake them free, shrieking and stomping until the last roach dropped. And my cameras? They caught every glorious second from two angles, proof of her sticky fingers and her meltdown all in one. The aftermath was better than any movie premiere. Karen was still shrieking as the last roach crawled down her ankle. My laughter slipped out before I could hold it back, and that only fueled her rage. She spun on me, hair wild, blouse half untucked, screaming, "You'll pay for this! You'll pay!" Her voice cracked with fury, but the crowd that had gathered didn't look sympathetic. Some neighbors were clutching their stomachs, laughing so hard they couldn't breathe. Others had their phones up, recording every humiliating second. She stormed off my porch, vowing revenge, but I knew the footage in my hand was worth more than her threats. That evening, she posted in the HOA group chat, claiming I'd attacked her with vermin. But before her pity parade could gather steam, videos of her roach dance started spreading among neighbors. Memes popped up in local chats, her flailing arms frozen mid-scream with captions like, "Package Inspector General." I went nuclear. The very next morning, I filed a complaint with the police, attaching both my porch cam and my neighbor's footage showing Karen stealing packages repeatedly. Along with that, I itemized the goods that had gone missing over the past 2 months. The cops didn't laugh, though I could see them trying, but they took it seriously. Package theft is no joke when you've got proof. Karen tried to flip the script, accusing me of endangering her with biological hazards, but the judge didn't buy it. My lawyer played the videos. Karen trespassing, Karen snatching, Karen screaming with a cockroach necklace she'd unwillingly earned. The courtroom chuckled, even the stenographer smirked. The verdict hit her like a freight train. She was ordered to replace every stolen item, pay me restitution to the tune of $10,000, and swallow the humiliation of probation for theft. And the cherry on top? The HOA stripped her of her neighborhood watch duties, replacing her with the very neighbor whose door Cam nailed her. Now, every time she passes my porch, she glares, but she never so much as breathes near a package. My deliveries have been safe ever since. And Karen's legacy in the neighborhood? The woman who got schooled by roaches on camera. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.